everyone, and welcome to another Tits Out stream. With me here today, I have the ever wonderful Claire Cleavage Bear.
Oh,
Hi, Claire.
cleavage. Yeah, thank you for the ever wonderful with my cleavage out. Yeah, thank you. Nice
And
intro.
the absolutely animatedly awesome demonic Davros. How are you, Dav?
Yeah. Look at him all naked there with his
Yeah,
tits
all
out too.
naked there with his tits out as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look, I had to come in here and give you a double D.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So,
Who
hi
considered
to
that
the
now?
handful of people that I think are lurking in the chat, because I did see the numbers go up on viewers and things. And yeah.
Hello, lurkers. Hello,
Yeah, you can
lurkers.
certainly hang out with your whiskey out, George Bush.
Yes.
uh,
Oh, yeah.
gotta love that.
I got a long night. I don't even want to start drinking. But I got to be honest, this morning, I didn't get a full cup of coffee in, and by the time the stream was over, I stuck a shot of cognac in that coffee, man, to just get through. I just couldn't
We've
do
done a lot of streaming in the last 24 hours, Claire.
I know.
And it's not over.
I don't know. No, it's not. And I'm not complaining, because it's really nice that people want me to come and speak with them and stuff. And I'm not complaining at all. It's just, when it's all in one day, like it's my own fault. I need to manage my own time better, because obviously I'm just a little runt. I don't have a channel manager or somebody to take care of this
Yeah,
stuff.
I want you to come all the time. I mean, come and chat all the time.
Oh, you do. Oh, thank you, Tom. I mean, it's so nice that you have my happiness, at the front of your expectations.
I've updated I've updated the screen a bit. We've got a couple of dancing anime girls and a scrolly bit up the side, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it in the long run. I mean, I'm thinking of changing around how the layouts work for this, so it'll be kind of cool.
I don't know. Like, your penis helix is still looking good back there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you know what? Because I don't have the stream up, that's all I see. So, because
you can only see what's here and not what's on the stream.
Yeah. It's how you do it. Other like when I'm over at Hereticals, I can see everything that's on the screen right in StreamYard.
Yeah,
like, I guess
because
it's the
you can't
different
see what's OBS unless you're having the stream up. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
There's the.
But yeah, for anyone who joins us later who isn't lurking in the chat at the moment, welcome. Glad you can join us. We're going to have a bit of a fun. This week's a bit more about having a warm up for the later on Mayhem, but I've got a couple of things I want to cover in this show as well. Don't forget to stick around for Mayhem afterwards. It'll be a lot of fun. I know it's a bit different this week because changed the
it's
time.
Today.
Well, it's today and not Saturday. It's Friday and not Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And my show is starting, I think, a little later than what I was, although it started at this time last week.
Yeah, I think we used to start around 8.
Yeah, but we're actually going to be cutting a bit short. So it's probably going to take a few weeks for people to get used to this. And add to that, there's always... That Friday night always got conflicts, so we're aware that that's going to affect how many people watch live.
I've got used to nothing being as it was.
Yeah, so things change.
Nothing is anymore like it was, but I'm looking forward to the Friday like that, because the recovery time.
Yeah. You got an extra day to get over it, haven't you, Claire?
I got an extra day to get my stuff together for the next week, because for me, like, Mayhem's always like the end of the week.
And it's not only that. I mean, for you and I, we've got 6-pack, the pre-show 6-pack, the actual 6-pack, and then like 12 hours later, we've got this, and it's a double run now. So it's like we've been sitting here like, 5 hours for this, plus 4 or 5 hours for 6-pack. 10 hours streaming in a 24-hour period is a lot of streaming. Plus today you did extra streaming, Claire. So you really bugged yourself.
Call me crazy. I don't know how. Like, I guess because that panel used to be on Thursday, so like I committed to this long-term panel. I really love working with these people. They like to have open. Me. I want to have discussions and conversations. There's not much I won't delve into.
She's crossing the streams, Jen. She's crossing the streams.
Am I? Yeah. But
you're gonna send the mushroom man back, aren't you? That's what it is.
I guess. I don't know.
How many of the young kids today won't get that reference?
Me, and I'm not young. It went right over my head.
Ghostbusters,
It got
Claire.
stuck in the cleavage and I couldn't understand. I have no idea.
You were a teenager when that came out. It was Ghostbusters.
I know, I loved Ghostbusters. I did, but it did. It just, you see, that just shows you I should not do that fourth
But
stream.
Here's what's cool. Some of us can say we actually saw its original theatrical release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us can say that.
Yeah.
Or at least all of us are old enough to say that.
Yeah, back in cinemas when they used to have wooden armrests.
Oh, wooden armrests.
I remember the first cinema that...
I don't ever remember a wooden armrest. My God.
The first cinema I remember in Albany when I was growing up, because there was one previous to that, but that closed down and then there was a new one built. And that first one, the seats for the cinema were bus seats.
Yeah.
So they'd salvage these seats from an old bus, and that was what was in the building for you to sit on to watch the movie.
That's kind of cool. You know, that's kind of cool.
That'd be cool if it was modern bus seats where they're, single occupancy and really comfy and all that.
With headrests and all.
But I'm talking about the old school bus thingies.
When I was a teenager, that would have been appreciated for the reason some people attended the movies in the first place. So
yeah, but at least it had cushions.
Yeah, they would be fighting for those seats, those bench seats, actually.
Hi, Stu.
Anyway, what are we discussing?
Yeah.
What are we discussing? Well, we're going to be talking about a certain Brian May.
Yeah, but can you establish which Brian May this is?
Well, I'm talking about Brian May from Queen.
Yes.
People
are thinking people are thinking the guy that drives the cars.
Yeah, or the one who... Well, there's also Brian May who's an actor, and there's also the Brian May who's, drives cars. I'm talking about Brian May, the musician, who played for Queen, played with Queen, still plays with... Technically still plays with Queen, if you can call what it is now Queen. To be fair, I actually don't mind listening to Brian May, Roger Deakin, and Adam Lambert play together. I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
that's perfectly fine, and I don't think it's anything weird to like that if you're a Queen fan. And I'm still a Queen fan. I'm just not a Brian May fan, and I haven't been a Brian May fan for a while. It started out a year ago when he became vegan, and he didn't just become a vegan; he became an ardent vegan, where everybody who ate meat was evil, and they should all just fuck off from the planet. Was pretty much his rhetoric about it.
It's really not about being vegan. You're telling me he's an entitled, opinionated arsehole
pretty much he's an entitled, opinionated arsehole about everything. And he's back in the press now in the UK because he's been talking about the Brit Music Awards. And I can't remember exactly what they're called, but I am going to bring up the article in a little bit. And he's basically... The gist of it is, and we will go through the article, but the gist of it is that the Brit Awards have decided that from now on there won't be gender categories. Every category in the music awards is going to be open, so it's not going to have any... The idea is to remove a gender bias, and the people who do the best music are the people who win the awards. And he's like, we shouldn't be doing that because it's not traditional, and it's not the way we did things in the past, and this isn't fair. And I'm like... It's music we're talking about. It's the skill of a writer. It's the skill of a musician. It's how well a person can sing. None of these are gendered things, which are going to have an issue between whether you are a male, a female, or a non-binary, or whatever you are. These things do not require a gendered category at all. There is absolutely zero reasons for having a gendered category.
They have album, they have for theater, they have
and you can have best new song, and you can have best singer or new talent.
Children. They have enough genres to go with, as far as categories like blues or rock.
You don't need best new female singer and best new male singer. Why don't you just have a best new singer? It doesn't make any sense to split this award into gendered categories because there's no need for it. It is ridiculous. These set of awards, the thing, and we'll get into the details of why we have gendered categories in many things in a bit, won't we, Claire?
Well, it's big. But the thing is, whatever the reason that they started it, it's over. Like, this is 2021. Like, why? I don't understand why Brian May is coming out with such a strong stance against this. Like, what is the big deal about it changing? You're still going to have all the categories. Nobody's really going to get affected. It's not going to be a biased against one sex or the other anymore. You can't say, oh, well, they're only going to pick the women. It's going to be an unfair advantage because, like, you know, people will support them just because they're women. That ain't going to happen. People are so opinionated now that ain't going to happen. Like, so what's his issue? Like, I don't understand why.
Well,
why
find out.
just a quick caveat first. But what if it was a man that was stunning and brave, winning the Best Actress award?
I think if a man can win the Best Actress award, he can. Like, if a man is playing a woman's part, he can be better than a woman, and why not?
Anyway,
like, I don't believe it in that either. Like, it is called the Brit. You do call it right. It is the Brit Awards.
Best acting. Well,
it should be Best Acting. Exactly.
Best actor refers to male and female now, anyway, because that was the whole idea of political correctness back in the day.
Well, then here's the thing. Do you think he's been paid off by the music industry to keep the promotion for this longer, so they have more categories, so they have more, more promo and more advertising and more money?
I've got a plan.
Yeah.
Best theist in a terrible screen written movie.
Best the
wouldn't that be Kevin Sorbo? It has to be.
Didn't he already win like several times already? Like, what's going on? Like, didn't this already happen? Like, what?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has. All right, so let's have a look at this. Brian May criticized Brit Awards frightening. Yeah. Choice to scrap gendered awards. I get sick of people trying to change things without thinking of the long-term consequences. What long-term consequences?
Long-term consequences? Equality. Oh my God, a long-term consequence. I cannot deal with it.
Some of these things are improvements. Some of them are not.
What? This is not important.
Fucking smug in that photo.
Yeah, he needs a hairdresser before he puts on a look like that.
I totally agree with stable milking. So I did put this up before, but Brian May's hair needs to just fuck off.
Yeah, does look a little.
It was
like
all right when he was younger, and he wasn't very grey, and his hair was a little less frizzy. He looked great, but gracefully old mate.
These talented, famous people, like, they already have the fame. They already have, like, people are going to listen to them. So why, when they get, like, a little older, do they feel like they have to become such contrarians to keep their voice out there? Like, that's what I really think it is. I mean, maybe I'm naive, but it's all, I don't even know. It's so naive. Ridiculous. I can't even believe he believes it, to tell you the truth. I'm having a hard time believing his argument. It's that he actually stands behind that.
It's crazy. Shit. And I'm going to send a link to Stool. Because Stool is a POM, and Stool's going to have things to say about this. So it should be interesting. Link sent, Stool.
It's just the old ways are gone. I'm sorry. Holding on to antiquity is just, it's
right.
Welcome to evolution.
Brian May has criticized. Sorry?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's read the next bit and we'll discuss it. Whilst we wait for Stool to get here. Brian May has criticized... Queen's Brian May, because he's his own... has criticized the Brit Awards' decision to scrap their traditional gendered system for award categories, calling it emblematic of a frightening trend. What frightening trend? That we've decided that things should be equal because of equal opportunity rather than equal by this fake sense of separating out the genders, because that's exactly what it was. Giving women their own category in many things was exactly the same thing as saying, hey, we should have a black baseball league and a white baseball league. See, you've got equality. That's not equality.
Not equality. That's segregation.
It's segregation, and women have been having this segregation for a very long time. We can talk about the reasons for it, but a lot of the reasons for originally having women's categories and men's categories was decided for not by women, but by men, because men either A, didn't want to lose to women, or B, thought the women would never be good enough to get an award if they had to compete with the men.
Well, we gotta be fair here, because like I don't like that men-woman thing. So like I'm not going against what you said, because what you said is absolutely accurate.
True.
But it is the industry that did it, and the industry just happened to be run by all men at that time. That I'll give you. But it was the industry that did this. I'm not going to put this on
like, it was done for completely sexist reasons. And there was also the avenue, especially the case in sport, more so than anything else. We think that sport was split for a reason that, and I know this is entirely irrelevant to this, that sport was split for the reason that it was unfair of women to compete with men. And that may have been the case for some sports, but for most sports, it actually doesn't make any fucking difference at all. The main reason for splitting it for it,
I do understand.
The main reason for splitting for it was money. In that the men who ran the sport industries didn't think they would make the money by having women in the sports. So it was purely a sexist financial decision to split many sports.
But a lot of times there is a physical like I'm always going, I'm one of those women. I believe in equality. You can call me a women's libber. I believe in our rights and everything, but I am going to always acknowledge the difference in physicality between men and women and the strengths and weaknesses that go with it. I'm going to give them credit every single time for jumping higher and doing things better. That doesn't mean that a trained athlete can't beat the average man on a regular if she trained.
I need to address the stool that's just slid into the room.
High school.
Brian May soiled pants. That's brilliant.
Australia, Jen. I'm sorry. Did I accidentally slide into your room? I hate.
You've colonized me again. Sorry. Stop it, Stop.
I know. Every time I close my eyes, I keep colonizing you. I'm so sorry, Australia.
Oh, you're a serial colonizer. Oh, do you have a flag?
Serial colonizer? I know. Oh my God.
I agree with you, Claire. There is definitely physical differences. We know that. We know the differences testosterone makes and things like that. But those differences are not applicable to all sports. I will give you an example.
No, not all.
Golf.
Golf, right?
The ridiculousness of having a different tee position for men and women when golf isn't about how far you can hit the ball, but how accurately you hit it is just mind-numbingly ridiculous. And for a lot of sports, it doesn't actually matter. And
why do we have the tee at the back?
He's got his hand up.
It means I need to speak. Because I've been in a stream where I'm literally not allowed to speak, so I have to do this.
You are allowed to speak. There's no one here stopping you speaking.
Have you just described sport? So you hit a ball.
Yep.
That's it. Is that it? That's it.
That's pretty much most sport, isn't it? Yeah. Most sport is you're either hitting somebody else or hitting an inanimate object. Or passing an inanimate object. That's pretty much sport.
I'm good at the sports.
Anyway, sports is off topic to this, and I think sports is an entirely different subject that goes a different way. But the reason, but the comparison is that the reasons for splitting were not about giving.
It was industry.
It was industry discrimination and monetary, and it's the same thing here, and it's discriminatory in that sense. So. This week,
for profit.
Yeah, it's for
Don't
profit.
You just love
I don't know if the Brit Awards were, but I think there was actually more fear of women taking the titles away from men in the case of the Brit Awards than it would have been about money. Because I don't know if the Brit Awards is actually a money-making thing. I'd have to ask Stool about that because he'd know more about it than me.
I'm wondering if the bias is in the terminology for how they did their press release, to tell you the truth, Jen, because if it was just about equality and they didn't put certain language in there, because if you're reading this article, they definitely are hammering in on what he has an issue with, and that's just
Oh
I
yeah,
totally
yeah.
get
Oh
the
no,
issue.
no, he's definitely got an issue, and he even goes worse on it further down in the article.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's not about equality or minute.
Oh no,
You
no,
know
no,
what I
no.
mean? It's
This
just like,
is him having issues with terms.
I've done a really bad thing here because I'm only here because Brian May. I've always suspected that Brian May is a cunt. I don't actually know. No, I was there before you, but I don't actually know what article you're referring to. So has he been extra cunty?
Oh, he has. This is Brian May
he's been a
criticizes the
superior
awards,
cunt.
Brit Awards. So basically, the Brit Awards have said.
Whoa! What did it say at the top?
He's a cunt.
Is that the headline?
That's the headline.
Brian May is a cunt.
Superior cunt. Yes.
Scrap gendered awards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's been extra cunty, has he?
He has. He's pretty much been extra cunty.
You know what? I love Queen, and not the Queen. I think she's a bit of a dick. I love Queen, and she's almost dead. It doesn't matter. Shut up. It's fine.
Then she'd be a dead prick.
A dead dick. Nothing worse than a dead dick. God.
And one of my favourite ever sexy songs is actually by Brian May, not by Queen. But I'm a grown-up, so I'm allowed to say, I like what you did there. I love it. That was a beautiful thing you did. But you're a cunt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I love what Queen's done. I like a lot of things that Brian May's done, even in his academic fields. He's done some good stuff. But the man himself's a prick.
Yeah, don't we learn that every day with the people that are, the most famous musicians?
Don't hold up your idols to think that just because they do something you like.
This is such an important thing.
Talent doesn't mean good person.
No.
Plenty of famous people are just shitty human beings.
This is such an important point you're making now. Cleavage Bear. What the fuck name is that?
Oh, yeah.
This is such an important point.
It's as advertised. See, it's appropriate.
I love your accent. Just saying.
I have an accent. Thank you.
Bloody colonizers always trying.
I actually like colonizer accents. They're my favorite.
Yeah. Don't listen to me. I'm sneakily trying to colonize you.
Are you?
Well,
just make sure you get it right there in the cleavage so I can clean up appropriately later.
As a possible as a possible serial to this.
That's the way to shut it down.
I've completely forgotten what the fuck I was going to say.
Exactly.
No, stay on point. Brian May is a what?
Is a cunt. Yes, that's where we were.
All right, so shall we read on? So this week, the Brits announced details of their 2022 ceremony, including the news that Artists of the Year and International Artists of the Year awards are replacing the traditional male and female categories from the previous years. So basically, they're open categories now, so that it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. There's not going to be a men's category and women's category. There's just going to be the category for Artists of the Year and International Artists of the Year, which I think is a good thing. That is truly not being sexist because you're opening the categories to anyone. And it's provided that you've got a panel of judges that are diverse enough to overcome any of their own prejudices. That's not going to be a problem. So it comes down to an organizational level thing to keep it fair and even, more so than the categories themselves.
Don't they have to do that anyway about genres and everything, and like who plays what or what's?
I've never really been into this whole give people awards and put it on the television thing. It baffles me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I especially when they're people who are making money for the things that they are doing. They're being paid for doing this. Why are they getting an award? And I'm happy to give an award to somebody who does something for charity, or the other way. Those are the people who should be getting awards.
Something worthwhile.
You know what? And I actually think it takes away from it. It takes away from lifelong careers that have given awesome music and done what made them happy and have been creative and productive
and it makes
and put stuff out there. And just because they didn't get an award, they didn't achieve something in their industry, it does kind of take away
some of them.
From it takes away from the industry as a whole when you make.
I'm going slightly tangent here, but I honestly, genuinely don't get it. It makes good television. I get that people watch it and they make money, but I don't understand this thing of giving people a pretend award for just doing stuff. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It really, I don't get it. And, you know, this thing that you're talking about now, I live in a country, you mentioned the Brits, Australia, Jen.
Yeah.
No, who the fuck watches that? I've no idea.
I don't know. I don't know who watches it in your country. I'm more interested in Brian May's response to it than the actual award itself, to be honest.
You know, I watch a lot of music stuff, and I don't know who won the Brits from year to year or month to month. Like, I didn't even know it existed until you told me.
I've got to be a real hypocrite here because I'm British. It's what I do. I come from a land down under. No, not that song, Australia, Jen. No.
I come from a land down under.
Where women, no, I can't do that song.
Throw a mensch under.
Hang on.
Can you hear the thunder?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to give you a Vegemite sandwich, mate.
Oh,
you better run and take cover now.
You guys are all singing Men at Work, and all I hear in the background is Dire Straits. Like, what the hell is that all about? All I can hear is Mark Knopfler. You know, I could just like, what the hell? They must go together like cheese and crackers or something. I don't know.
I think the point you're making is a very massive. I'm not looking at boobs. I think the point you're making is very massive. Okay. Because
would you like me to change my avatar? I'll change it for you. I don't want to.
We should not be doing this in this day and age. We shouldn't say best woman at or best man at.
Exactly.
Why would we even do that? I mean, I get it.
In the same field.
In the old days, we were stupid and we said stupid shit like that. But we're better than this now. We should not be doing it.
I agree.
2021.
That's the entire point here, and it's the reason why they changed it. Because they announced this decision back in 2019 that they were going to be changing the category so that they were more inclusive. Pointing out that it was difficult because they didn't know what categories to put non-binary artists, and there's a lot of them now into. So and they decided not to do it this year, which highlighted the point when Sam Smith spoke out because they weren't able to fit in a category because they didn't have
and he is super talented and he should be there represented because everybody loved his music and they noticed the difference. Well, you see him even speaking, Brian May even speaking out on this just says more about his unwillingness to move forward. It's more like, okay, Brian, this is the way to prove that you're a has-been. Now you're speaking like a codger. You don't want to look for the future. You're going to complain because there's too much milk in your tea and you don't like the way the world is going, and gosh darn those young whippersnappers, look what you're doing to the world.
Well, you just have to read his comments to know exactly how this went, because his comment is, Brian May's comment about it was, it's a decision that's been made without enough thought. A lot of things work quite well and can be left alone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm sure lots of people thought it worked quite well that men were the only ones who got out and got jobs and women stayed at home and cooked and looked after the baby.
Australia, Jen. I have to play devil's advocate here because can you scroll back up to the top, please?
Where am I going to?
Which are
the top of the article with the title?
Where was this published? Which
news and music. This is who is this from?
The original publisher of this was The Guardian.
Oh God, I don't.
But this is not the Guardian version, and this actually did happen. So, yes.
I'm just going to put this out here, and I don't usually say that on a Friday night because I'm polite. If you're not familiar with the UK, we have this thing called a pile of shit press. Yeah. So he did not necessarily say that. Mm-hmm. Now, to me...
Well, they got quotes here, though.
Yeah, but that quote is from the Mirror.
Oh, well, that's okay. Then. So, to me, what I'm smelling here, Australia, Jen, and I'm not pissing on your cornflakes.
Yeah.
I love that you're angry about this, because it's good to be angry about your idols. We should not worship our idols.
Oh, definitely not.
They can also be cunts.
Yeah.
Except for David Bowie. He's not a cunt.
He's dead.
No.
He's slightly dead. Oh, did you see that Oh fuck!
He's slightly dead.
Did I show you
That
that
sounds
thing?
like the Princess Bride.
I know.
Oh my God.
I love that movie. That's my favorite movie ever.
I've got
Oh my
I've got a tangent to go on about that, but for the
Go on.
meantime,
We'll be quiet.
if you're not familiar with how this country works, our press lies to us because they sell outrage porn, and that gets the let's just say uneducated. It gets them all angry and shouty, and that's how they vote for the Conservatives. That's just like it's kind of like Fox News. UK
It's kind
is
of like America.
Fox News.
Yeah, very similar.
So I'm going to call shenanigans on this one. I know we're not voting, but I've just invented this new game, Australia Gen. I'm going to say...
You're going to say this didn't happen.
Well, wait. Are you saying he didn't say it, or you saying they took it out of context what he actually said?
I've just invented a new game show. Yay. I'm going to go for he didn't actually say it.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm going to go with they took it out of context.
It's more likely it was out of context because things were definitely said. But I don't know that it would be out of context.
About a lot of stuff. Like, he's known to run his mouth about a lot of things. Like, he's very outspoken. So I'm pretty sure he went on a rant about something, and they're picking and choosing what they're pulling out of it. Like, they're taking it out of context.
That's how it works. That's how it works. What they do is
journalism in 2021, right? Yeah, that's how they do it.
He probably said many, many words, most of which were very profound and good, but they will have taken 4 of those words, mixed them around, and made a story out of it.
The only problem I have with this is that it does appear on Twitter that he's doubled down on the things that he was quoted as saying.
He did kind of,
Oh,
so
is he doubling down?
Have any of that? Like, he did use his own words a little bit to say they shouldn't be changing anything.
I think the Englishman is about to retract his statement.
I'm going to retract. Australia Gen, I'm about to retract, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't usually do medical procedures online, but I'm now going to retract.
Well, you have to retract before you can
well, they can't get you
before you can colonize again. So I mean, that's always the way.
The Daleks are on the way to your house now. Still, be prepared for imminent extermination.
You know, I love it when I'm proved wrong, because anybody on this planet who hates being proved wrong is a dick. So
it's mistaken. It's not wrong. It's misinformed.
Yeah,
You've made a decision.
I would agree that it's probably a case of even though he's doubled down on it. I would say that the press in the UK, like the Mirror and the Guardian, and that have blown it all out of proportion.
If he's doubled down, if he's doubled down on his Twitterings, then that's I totally retract now before I colonise you, Australia Gem, because if he's doubled down, then he's a cunt.
Yeah.
Well, he just might have been having a bad day. Maybe his tea was cold. I don't know. Because he just was saying he doesn't want things to change. I think they actually attach it to an issue they're already having a problem with.
That is
the Guardian and the Mirror blowing that issue up.
Definitely. I mean, of course they're going to jump on somebody like Brian May talking about something that's about gender and removing gender categories and things like that, because the UK media hates LGBT plus people. Yeah.
You know who loves Guardian articles? I think we should forward this on to Jimmy Snow.
You mean they don't have a quote from him in there? Gosh, they didn't do their job, did they? There's no quote.
I mean, Brian May's next thing is, I get so sick of people trying to change things without thinking about the long-term consequences. Some of these things are improved, and some of them are not.
Culture reference.
Yeah, he went on to say that an atmosphere of fear everywhere because of people are afraid to say what they really think. Adding, I think so many people are feeling, hang on, this isn't quite right, but don't dare to say anything. Eventually there'll be some kind of explosion. Elsewhere in the interview, he referred to as his queen, to his queen.
Okay, I see what's happening
he believes
here.
Would have found the culture he speaks of difficult. Yeah, bullshit. Freddie wouldn't have found anything about modern culture difficult. Freddie would have been all for it. Freddie was so out there and progressive that he would have been,
you know what?
This is fucking good, it's progressive.
I don't understand the point of this reference. Can I just ask this? Okay, so it says, for instance, Freddie came from Zanzibar. He wasn't even British. He wasn't white as such. Nobody cares. Nobody ever discussed it. Right. That's true, Mr. May, because Freddie had a category. Freddie was in a band. Freddie had a freaking category. Freddie could be a male singer. He had a category. That's not what we're talking about here. He's trying to turn this into something that it's not. I don't like that kind of and you're not proving a point here. And don't bring Freddie. Don't speak for Freddie, Brian. Don't speak for Freddie.
He was a musician. He was a friend. He was our brother. He didn't have to stop and think, oh, now should we work with him? Is he the right color? Is he the right sexual proclivity? None of that happened. And now I find it frightening that you have to be so calculating about everything. Who has to be calculating about anything? No one is going to... People may not watch you if you're an all-white male band, but some people will, and that's entirely their own choices, and it has always been their own choice about who they watch and listen to. No one is going to stop you from being that band. Unless, of course, being the all-white male band is because you think you're better than everybody else who isn't white and male. In that case, you probably will get torn apart because you're a fucking dick.
This one is... I'm finding this one to be quite painful and confusing because... Initially, I did say that Brian May was a cunt. I don't think he actually is.
No?
I think he's not a cunt. This is my new game show. Cunt, not a cunt.
You decide. Made another one. Yeah.
Okay. What made you think he's not?
I honestly don't think he's a cunt. I think he's... You know, when people reach a certain age, I don't think he's... What?
Is he going senile? Senile.
Who pronounces that word like that?
I do.
That's not a word.
Senile.
She said senile.
I did.
I know she did, but she's allowed. She's from Australia.
If you say Nile, you're in bloody Egypt.
Yeah.
No, that's denial. Let's get it straight. No, come on.
Yeah, the denial is in Egypt.
Yeah, but if you say Nile, you're at denial.
No, stop. I don't think any of us up here with the accents that we have can correct anybody else about how they talk at all.
Listen, I know you're all jealous of my sexy accent. Let's get over it.
At least you say emu correctly.
But it's his
correct. Yes.
The word cunt that I'm having a problem with here. He's not putting enough emphasis on the c.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I continue, Australia Jen, you did say the emu word.
I did.
And yes, you say it correctly. So if you've not seen my latest things, check out my new musical. It's called Emu Sperm. It's coming to a theatre near you.
What?
Is it another game?
Wow. Okay.
What's the main song from it?
Is that the song?
Emu Sperm. That's basically my musical. I'm shit at writing musicals, so that's all I've got so far.
Cover it.
I don't want Brian May to cover my emu sperm.
Why? Why? But he's not a cunt. He's in the running. You know, come on. If he's not a cunt, I mean,
Anyhow, you've all excited me and got me all colonising, so I'm going to go back on topic. I don't think that Brian May is a cunt necessarily, because you know how people get old.
Yeah.
And they will say things, and the lovely press will go and print this stuff that they say. I have to vote no, he's not a cunt.
Yeah.
Because he wrote a beautiful song in 1980. I forget.
Way back. A while.
And it was an awesome song. I love it. I'm not allowed to sing it to you because Jen will get her ass spanked. But
promise?
I'm voting no.
I think you're onto something there.
I don't want to play Stool's game anymore.
I do for one more minute, because it kind of goes along what I'm thinking. That Brian May got his numbers from his manager about what was going on in the industry, saw articles about the Brit Awards getting changed, and decided it's not his fault that he's not putting out anything that people can't relate to right now, because he's not relating to people the way he did 20 years ago. You know, and it happens, and it's nobody's fault. And he got on himself, let's just call it a whinge, and his tea got a little cold, and he decided it's everybody else's fault because the Brits are changing the way we get awards. And there you go. He's just having a bad day.
What's happening over here in Shitland is that it's
Shitland, by the way.
The purveyors, the the purveyors of nonsense are really going for the anti-woke thing. So anybody who has how can I say it? They're really going for this because this is their thing. They're obsessed with woke.
This is the same argument we had in the 80s.
I did the thing.
The arguments against the woke crowd is the same as the arguments we had against political correctness, because it's the same thing. It's like, we can't say chairperson instead of chairman. It changes everything. It ruins the entire society. How can we say postperson or male person instead of mailman? It's we can't do this. Well, we can't say that gender and sex are two different things because it's going to ruin the fabric of society. Oh, fuck off. Things change.
It's exactly
Language is not prescriptive, it's descriptive, and it changes with us as we evolve.
It's totally the same thing, but it's the same fucking script that they've always fucking used. Just change woke back to PC. I mean, I'm old enough to remember.
I remember it too.
in UK land, you're too politically. Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Just stop doing it.
Stop being so PC. You PC brigade. You're all. And it was exactly the fucking. We're all old enough to remember this. It's exactly the same. It is no different.
And that's what's making contrarianism the thing now. Like, just go against all of it, no matter what.
I didn't know that being a police constable was a horrible thing.
Exactly. Man, woman, whatever. I can assure you that the postman comes to my house. I call it the postman. It doesn't mean it's a man or a woman.
All PCs are bastards.
Well, here, most of my packages come via courier. So I deem that to be a gender neutral term for every time I get my package.
Yeah. I mean, Australia uses a gender neutral term anyway, because we say postie anyway. So it's the postie's coming.
Yeah, but intent is everything. It's like, even if I say postman, I am not trying to be discriminatory against them.
And that's the thing. Our language has changed to the point where we can use terms like, chairman, and it's referring to a man or a woman, and we've accepted that now in our...
You've got to change the concept, not the word. That's what it is. It's how it's used and how we do it. You change the concept and not the word. You don't have to re-educate everybody on a whole damn language. Just
the skid mark's got his hand up again.
I've got the skid mark. Yes? Really?
That wasn't me. I didn't say that. I wouldn't be daft.
I've got a fun thing that I've just realised in my head.
Have you been playing with it?
You shut up. When you were talking about receiving your big package, that you said came via courier. I heard courier.
Courier, yeah.
It was courier.
Why do your package go through courier? That's a dictatorship. Well, anyway.
Actually, the package I got was by Be Quiet. Actually, it was. That's the new case that I've put all my bits and pieces in. It actually come from. Let's have a look.
This is China! A fun fact.
China. Oh, not Korea. Not Korea.
Yeah, but it may have followed the Silk Road.
It came through Korea by courier to end up being from China.
This is a totally irrelevant point, but I've just remembered it while you were talking about PC and names and stuff. I actually used to be a postie in a
previous life.
In a Star Wars long time ago kind of thing. And when I don't know how it works these days, but in those days you have to have a security badge, and it has your number on it, which is important. And they changed the system, and they came round to us all, and they asked us. They said, "This is your name, but what would you like your name to be on your badge?" And I've just realised that was like about 20 years ago. That's kind of cool, is it not?
It is. Like, what do you want to be known by? Like, if you have a nickname or a preferred name, or
that's what I'm going for.
Your legal name could be different than what you will present yourself as. That's big. That's actually big. And
I think I've just realised that I witnessed a big because that was a long time ago before people gave a shit about all this kind of stuff.
You mean like common courtesy, like the normal thing to do?
Yeah, but I mean, the people that complain about this don't care about common courtesy. They only care about their own bullshit instead of anybody else.
Just don't ask me what was on my badge, because...
Why? I'm sure it was
I would have
better
asked
than
to fuck you, but that's...
No, I don't think I would have been so... Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's very cool.
You people, I love you people. You've just made a memory happen in my head that makes me happy. I love it when that happens.
Who's this you people?
Yeah, we have names. Cleavage and Australian Jen and Davros and Jenny, leftover turkey girl.
Hey, Jenny, you still awake down there?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Oh, you're just listening for now. All right, I'm going to read the next bit anyway, where Brian said, when he's talking about his whole bit about how bands have to have diversity in them, which is bullshit because bands don't have to have diversity in it. People like it if they do, but they don't have to. It's not a fucking requirement. But he says we would be forced to have people of different colors and different sexes, and we would have to have had a trans person. You know, life doesn't have to be like that. We can be separate and different.
I don't understand that, because when I'm listening to music, I'm listening to music. I am not looking at music or the artist. I am listening to music. This is a musician.
Like that. This little thing that he said really grinds my gears.
I'm struggling with this one.
We can be separate and different. Are you talking segregation there, Brian? Because that's what that fucking sounds like.
Australia, Jen.
Talking affirmation of how the industry is run on looks and presentation instead of real talent. That's what he just did.
Australia, Jen.
Yes.
These are words, and you're putting emotions into them. You weren't there, so you don't know what he actually said.
But they got quote marks. We could give them even a monocle of like that. There are quote marks there. He must have said some of it.
Did you just say
monocle?
there was
a sentence before, like like a little bit minuscule, like minuscule. Then I'll change the word so that
I preferred it when you said monocle, because I
meaning
want a
not
monocle.
not a full pair of glasses, just a monocle. Like a little bit of. There are quotes there that I will agree that there was probably a sentence before and a sentence after that changed everything. But if they're putting quotes there, he must have said some of it.
No, that's not. That is not how the British press works.
It's not how the mirror works. No.
This bit that he said, which was, it is important that the Brits continue to evolve and aim to be. This wasn't Brian May. This was Tom Murch, the chairman of the Brit Awards. Okay. It is important that the Brits continue to evolve and aim to be as inclusive as possible. It feels completely the right time to celebrate the achievement of artists for the musics that they create and the work they do, irrespective of gender. I 100% agree with that.
Yes, like just even take out those last three words and you don't even need them. Why not judge it on the actual creativity involved? Why does anything else have to do it? Where that statement that Brian may or may not have said, I will grant Mr. Soiled Pants connotation.
I'm totally loving this conversation, Australia, Jen.
It's a good one.
I think what you need to do, it really is. And I think what you need to do is to create a new show for your channel and call it Cunt or Not a Cunt.
Cunt or Not a Cunt. Well, we could totally do that as a stream. That would be fun.
I will totally controversial, because I'm still saying that Brian May is not a cunt.
I don't know that he's particularly a cunt. I think he is a little old and set in his ways. I would say the same thing. I've seen similar words come out of the mouth of somebody who'd be considered a bit of an icon in the UK than that is. Oh, crap, I've forgotten his name.
I'm going to go... you're going to say what I'm going to say. Oh, no, I wasn't going for that one.
I'm going with Stephen Fry. I've seen similar bad words come out of Stephen Fry's mouth, and then him a couple of days later on Twitter issue an apology because he didn't mean it the way it came out. And that's quite possible.
Apologizing.
Yeah. And I'm not sure that Brian May will in this case because he did double down, but there is this aspect of you're a slightly older person and you're in the middle of the UK, which is a seething, to be honest.
Right.
the UK is a seething bed of
I don't know why
intolerance
you
at the
moved
moment. And
Why-
it's hard to be educated in the aspects of a moving forward society that's more inclusive when you've got all that bad, and it's mostly from that crappy press like the Sun and the Mail and and the Guardian and shit like that. But it's
I can't
there.
raise my hand.
And
This
the
is
Tories,
terrible.
fuck the Tories. Yes, go on.
I can't raise a hand. This is terrible.
I'm not a. I try my best not to be a hypocrite. So on your first episode of Cunt or Not a Cunt, I'm going to cunt myself because I'm a cunt. Because this conversation is really messing with my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 97% certain that Brian May is not a cunt.
Can I
I'll be
ask
the
you a
judge of
question on
that.
that?
However,
Can I ask you a question on that?
however, I'm 98% certain that John Cleese is a cunt.
Oh, John Cleese is most
Would
definitely
you?
a cunt. That would be
you're not gonna get an argument there.
in fact, I wouldn't mind John Cleese being the first topic of cunt or not a cunt.
No, this is
on
actually a controversial issue because I'm British.
I
as
love
you
his
can see.
humor, but he's a
He's a cunt.
he's a
And-
cunt.
And American people, they have this obsession about Monty Python, as they call it.
Well, Terry Gilliam and Graham and
This
I
is,
can't help it. I'm an American. It's like it's born in us.
I'm
Eric
not gonna say
Idle
this.
is the only one. Well, no, I like Michael Palin's
Eric
stuff,
Idle.
but he has some views that I'm not agreeing with. Eric Idle, though,
I don't
I've
know.
generally seen him being very supportive of just about anyone in the world. Eric Idle is not a cunt.
He's like
Um,
he's a funny
I've-
writer.
I'm 99.3% sure that Eric Idle is not a cunt.
There you go. That's very nice of you. But can I ask you about Brian May on the cunt issue? Because you moved him from being a cunt to not a cunt. And I think it was because of where the information was come from. So how does he stay as not a cunt when you found out from Jen that he doubled down on those words on his own Twitter in his own words?
That's
Like,
right.
how did you...
And
did
then,
you
of course,
keep
you've got to
him in
go
the
back to
cunt?
the whole thing he did last year where he was
Because
a vegan
I
cunt.
watched you move him based on the source of the information. So then when the additional information of his own words came forward, why didn't he move back a little bit to be a semi-cunt? Like, because I'm like more in the semi-cunt thing, but...
He's cunty.
The kind of conversation that I love because I love it when people tell me that I'm wrong.
No, I'm not telling you you're
Because-
wrong. I'm asking for clarification.
No,
I want to know your
genuinely,
process. Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, I want to know how you got there.
honestly, no, I'm being serious. If you tell me that Brian May is a cunt, I will trust your.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm saying, did you weigh in his words, his own words that Jen told you he did on Twitter himself when he doubled down on the statement?
I haven't read. I did not come here. I didn't do my research. So the article to me, I thought, nah, whatever. But then
Good answer, because you're going by the source. Yeah.
Australia Jen then said that he doubled down on the Twitters. Now, if a person with a blue thingy doubles down, yes, they're a cunt.
Oh. Okay, let's see if we can find it.
Yeah.
Brian, where's your Twitter? Brian May's Twitter. Come here, Brian.
Actually, I can't find it on Twitter. I was told he doubled down on Twitter, so I will rephrase that.
Oh, you cheeky.
I shouldn't believe everything I read that other people say without actually seeing the links myself.
On that alone, I would grant Mr. Soiled Pants. Then, of course, you could move him over into the.
I will not move him out of the cunt label based purely on the bullshit that he went down on last year when he was doing the I am a vegan cunt thing where he
so you're going like
yeah, because he's got history. He's got fucking history.
You're using the historical cunt theory. Yes, I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
so he can stay in cunt if you're going to use historical cunt.
He obviously said things here, and even if they were taken a little bit out of context by the media, he definitely said some of this stuff. But he definitely said the stuff about the veganism because he fucking posted it himself.
Hey, if
on
either
Twitter
of
for
you...
people to go and read, and I did a whole video about it. So I'm sorry, the whole vegan thing where he was calling people who are actual omnivores assholes because they're eating meat and you're all bastards and you need to stop eating meat and there's no reason for you, any of you, for being eating meat because you're the whole thingy vegan, you know, the whole vigilant vegan thing.
If this does become a game, can I be the game show host? Like, this is exciting. Like,
Cleavage Bear, I'm totally with you. Is it just me, or are you all also now closing your eyes and imagining the graphics for Australia Jen's new game show, Cunt or Not a Cunt?
Oh yeah, I'm going to come up with some awesome graphics here.
I mean, I can even hear the theme tune in my head.
Oh, I haven't got the theme tune yet, but I'll find the theme tune.
But Jen, they cancelled the project.
They did?
What?
So the project on Channel 10 has been cancelled. Yeah, so
anyway,
to be a cunt and not be a cunt.
Yeah,
it's been cancelled.
Oh man! Well, that means the rights are up for you to grab, Jen.
Yep.
Yeah, but look, here's something that happens with things that are cancelled. So, just a quick story on cancellation, because that's almost where this is heading. The people
also,
hang on.
I'd love for somebody to have counted how many times we've said the word cunt in this stream.
I can't do that.
We make that part of the game, the cunt count at the end. Yeah.
We need a cunt counter.
You need
that's
we're going to have that one for cunt or not a cunt. We are going to have a cunt counter.
You know what? This you looped me in. I had no idea this was the stream that we were having, but oh my god. Oh my god.
No, but you are a cunt.
You are a
cunt.
Right, you know, Davros, like, yeah, Claire, you know, remember that time you did that cunt stream? Yeah, that one.
The cunt stream, yeah.
Australia Jen, in your new game show, you need a cuntometer down here. So every time somebody says C word,
we click it up one, and it goes.
Yeah.
Hang on. He goes, we need a cuntometer down here for every time someone says the C word.
Yeah, no, you're not a cunt counter, a cuntometer. Yes, it needs to be a cuntometer.
Yeah, but he changed it to C word, even though he said the word.
Yeah.
I'm polite.
No,
you've
you're
been
not.
saying cunt all stream. You've probably said it more often than the rest of us.
As a matter of fact, you started this conversation with the cunt.
You started this conversation. You definitely started. Yes, let's have a conversation about this right now.
Speaking of cunts, there was some karma happened this week for.
Oh yes, tell, please.
Okay, so.
On
the 24th of December last year, certain people that me and a mate of mine collaborated with deleted all the videos off the channel we had, right? Because they still had admin rights. Anyway, they had started a channel the month before, around the 24th, 25th of November. On the 24th of November this year, they got canned by YouTube for too many copyright violations.
That's effort, that is.
Yeah, but these are guys that when they did their first stream, took assets that belonged to NASA Black Site's YouTube channel and just manipulated them a little bit, but still had some of the same assets. I put in a claim against them. It never got seen or whatever. Anyway, when YouTube got back to me on the 27th of December, all the videos had been deleted.
Oh, wow.
So I had no evidence that they had been put onto YouTube. Anyway, karma's a bitch. Suck it, cunts.
I need a noise.
Well, what sort of noise?
I need a noise for when somebody uses the C word.
That'll
do.
You're a fart.
Yeah.
No, it needs to. It needs. I can't remember the name. It needs to be a queef. Thank you.
It needs to be a queef. Yeah. I was just gonna say I have to unmute to say that because I'm over on the other side of the room yelling, "Queef!"
What the fuck's the name for a fanny fart?
Hang on. Does that mean Brian May's a queef?
Yeah. You know what? Could be. That seems to be more appropriate than what we were discussing before. I don't know. I don't think you could get moved out of that category very easily.
I'm really struggling
into
with this
mayhem.
particular conversation. I'm still in my head. I don't think Brian May's a cunt. This is the weirdest
He's a
conversation
queef.
ever.
He could be a vaginal explosion of gas.
You know what? I hate you all.
You started this.
Wait a minute. You're so this way, that way. Just a few minutes ago, you said you loved us all.
Yeah.
You loved
Yeah.
us all for making
But
you think of it. Yeah.
I'm British, so I'm allowed to change my mind. That's
Well,
legal.
everyone's allowed. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I
Everyone
can
can change their mind.
On a whim, I can literally colonise you because I'm British. So
Yeah,
Deal with it.
see, that's the problem. The Poms did way too much colonization in the past.
I don't think you actually colonized us, though. Yeah.
And then you did that
Yeah,
whole
they did
thing
stick
of,
a flag.
let's split the country in two when we leave, because that will really fuck it up.
Yes, you did colonize us, and we kicked your fucking weak ass out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It was a
then.
failed colonization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quick question though.
To be correct about this, Jenny, you needed help from the French. You were kind of shit. So
Because
you
they could
needed
see the writing
French
on the
to
wall,
help
and
you.
they knew that you guys are a bunch of wuss ass cunts, anyways.
Whoa.
Actually, this one's for Stu. Can you ask our American friends why is it that Hawaii still has a Union Jack?
Why are you asking him to ask for you?
Because he's the colonizer.
You.
Yeah.
Davos.
I like that. Hashtag I'm the colonizer.
Why do they do that? Because even a venereal disease leaves scars.
Oh,
That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. Jenny comes in with it. Ah, thank you, Jenny.
zing.
Nice.
How are you anyway,
Representing
Jen?
the country well. Yeah.
I'm fine.
But we got so sidetracked dissing on Brian May that I forgot to ask you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Jenny. It was
She's
heated.
alive.
I don't care. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's alive, which is the main thing. The breathing is the most important.
So what's your opinion on Brian May, Jenny?
I don't have one.
You don't have one. Okay.
Nope.
There you go.
Well, no, it's whenever Jenny says she doesn't have an opinion on something, that's not good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what all the row is about. I don't see any reason why there can't be a category for a male singer, a category for female singer, because if it's anything like the American Music Awards, there's also like this category for
Artist. Yeah.
artist of the year, and that kind of says, well, okay, let's eliminate all these things over here and just have one award. Well, people like getting awards, okay? So why don't we make a whole bunch of categories for awards so more people can get awards, so more people can watch this, more people can pay us money, we can get richer. It's all just a big fucking game, and everybody's falling into it.
Well, yeah, we did make that point earlier that award ceremonies are just
ridiculous.
Are just rich people wank, basically. That's what these industry awards are. They're rich people wank.
Jenny just summed that up perfectly in a better way than I ever could. Yeah.
Thank you for donating those $3 million. Here's an award of a $5 million house.
Yeah. Let's get all these rich people who make a fuck ton of money from their music in the first place, or a fuck ton of money from making movies, and let's give them a nice statue and $10,000 to say thank you for doing your fucking job. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
but they don't even make the money out of it, and it's the industry
No, it's the
itself that's
industry.
making that like something that they have to covet.
Exactly.
Because that's what I have the problem with it. They've made it that way. I don't think the artists have.
Let's face it, the biggest industry wank is the Academy Awards.
Australia, Jen, just summed this thing up perfectly.
I
Thank you
think
for
there's a
doing
lot
your
of
job.
summing. There's a lot of summing going here.
In what area of your life do you get given an award for doing your fucking job? That's not a thing.
The only award people get for doing their job in real life is when they leave their job. If you retire, you might get a present for being retiring, and it's like, here you go. Here's a present. You should have retired long ago, basically.
I'm gonna sound like a codger here, because actually I see more and more of that now, where people want to get rewarded for just doing the right thing, or doing the most reasonable thing, or just acting with proper manners and all. Like, they want the big pat on the back. That entitlement bullshit is becoming more and more and more.
I've actually heard it with people who I've actually seen it online where somebody has used somebody's correct pronouns and said, "Don't you want to thank me for that?"
Yeah.
Huh?
Actually, I've got a different I've got a different parable about this. Okay, so the teenager at home is just starting to work, so he's basically transitioning from high school into working life. Right. Over the last few years, I've been pushing him to think a day ahead. Right. So if you've got work tomorrow, tell me how you want to get there. Do you need a lift, or are you going to catch the bus, or whatever? This hasn't happened. Anyway, his auntie says, "Oh, you need to be thankful for him. You need to give him encouragement." And it's like, so he doesn't do anything that I've requested, but I still have to praise him for not doing what I requested of him?
Yeah.
How is that logical? He's getting gratification for not doing a thing. Like, this is the polar opposite of it.
Yeah.
Right? I've got to be like, "Oh, I appreciate you," and like that. He's not my wife.
No.
He's a kid about to become an adult. Leave the gratification until achievement is actually made, such as, I don't know, tidying your goddamn room,
Exactly.
as Jordan Peterson would say.
Oh, you said the J word. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, look, I could say Jen, I could say Jordan. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's what he said. It's not about the person. It's about what he said. It's like, look, if you want to take control of your life, pick up your dirty clothes.
This is going to end in fighty shenanigan
No, it won't.
because
No, it won't. Because I've got two D's here.
Jordan Peterson
I've
was
got
on
two D's
Question
here.
Time.
Well, double D's, actually. Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, fuck it. Again, I've lost my fucking... Where was I going?
I like
You did it,
what
Jen.
Brilliant's comment before, where he said, "Right, Claire, the awards are hush money to placate the artists," which is very accurate.
There was
encouraging me.
There was a big hullabaloo in UK land last week because Jordan Peterson, who is a cunt, I'm going to say that.
Definitely.
Do the noise. Do the noise.
Queef?
Thank you.
I can't do a queef into the microphone. I don't do them on demand.
Jordan Peterson is a massive fucking cunt. There's no arguments about this. And he was on Question Time. And for those not familiar, that's like a really important TV program that's on weekly. It's about politics, blah, blah, blah. And they had him on the fucking thing. And it went slightly viral because he did a sexism. No, he did a racism. And everybody's going, what the fuck? Did you just do a racism? And he did a racism. I hate that bastard so much. He's a fucking massive cunt. But here's the thing. And this ties into what we've been talking about. I love it when there's an underlying thread. He knows his audience. He knows where he gets his money from.
Oh, he also knows where most of his audience are cunts too. That's the whole point.
Exactly. And if you can pander to your audience, by the way, pandas are cool. If you can pander to your audience, you will make a lot of money, a lot of grifting money. Just saying.
That's where most of the problems in our society comes from, is grifting.
Here's a problem, Jen. When you're going philosophical, sometimes you have to make a racial or a sexual or a cultural division in putting across to an opponent a particular side of an argument. Yes, it sounded really racist what he said, but, and not defending him here, he was talking to white people.
So as long as you're talking to white people, you can say something racist. Is that what you're trying to say here? Because I don't think it is.
But this is no. But this is how I. Okay, so if he had if he was racist to white people, then would it have been an issue?
No, not as much, because there's this thing about punching down. You know, I think George Carlin always said it best: "Don't punch down."
For people who are not familiar, I like that noise. Can that be cunt noise?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's my text message. So I
I have to find that. That'll be good.
Oh, which cunt's text messaging you?
An ex, actually. An accurate noise tone. Oh,
can we make that the cunt noise? Every time somebody says the C word, can we have that noise?
I'll send you an audio clip if you like.
Yeah, send me one. It'll be fun.
The thing is, that's disturbing. So,
what the hell is that?
No, that's my kid in the background on his little audio mic.
UK Twitter exploded the day after Peterson was on Question Time. Now, I did not watch the program. I don't watch it anymore. It used to be a really good thing. Now it's just silly. So UK Twitter exploded. So in my timeline, I'm seeing Jordan Peterson, and I'm thinking, what the fuck has he done now? I can't even explain this to you. He said the word racism, but did this with his hands.
Huh? Yeah. Racism.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
wow.
It's not a thing. So, I'm easily annoyed. That fucking thing annoyed me so much because you don't do this.
Yeah, you don't do that if you're talking about something that's real.
Yeah.
Don't do.
Yeah, and UK Twitter exploded because all the normal people were going, "What the fuck? Did you just do this?" Yeah, I hate it when people. Yeah, I'm off topic. I apologize. Sorry. Continue.
It's fine.
I do get angry about things, Australia, Jen.
I know you do, but so do I. So that's fine.
But for the record, I will. I promise my best. I will not colonise you.
It's too late.
Giving up paradise for the convicts. Nice. Thank you very much.
It is really difficult because every time I go out of this door, I get this urge to colonise people.
You might need some therapy there.
Yeah, I want to know where that flag's been stuck.
Oh.
I think we're born with this affliction.
It's a British thing.
What? You had a flag stuck in it? Is that what you were afflicted with?
It's a Western European thing, isn't it? That's what it is.
You just took that into a weird place. What I'm saying is, every time I go out of the door, because I'm British, I want to colonise all you from behind.
Deep personal. This just.
I'm guessing Stool hasn't been listening to me.
Yeah.
I am listening, but
he has been listening to you. Actually,
unfortunately, you've got one of those Australian accents, so I've not got subtitles set up for you. But
you see, you're used to Australian accent because you were here for a while. So
this is true. Yeah.
Also, when it's cunt to cunt, you should understand it.
Oh, there are so many people we can do. Are they a cunt?
Australia was smart enough to get rid of Stool, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. We kicked him out like we did Ken Ham.
Ken
He wasn't
but
born
don't
here.
send
He
them.
deserted.
Don't be sending them all over here. Knock it off.
Well,
I'd rather have
Kent
Stool
Ham
back,
left.
to be honest. He's much better than
Yeah, I know,
Ken
but
Ham.
we already have Hogan. Cut it out. Cut it out. Stop it.
I think when we come to do our Are they a cunt show? Cunt or not a cunt show? We're going to have to do Richard Dawkins at some point.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Well, really, if you want to do him, that's on you. But he doesn't make me wet.
Jeez, I should have known that one was coming.
This one confuses me because Dawkins, fair enough, he had a bit of a stroke, and he's old, so we've got to give him some leeway.
No.
I think you have to give old people a little bit of jiggle.
No.
Stop being fucking entitled.
I'm trying my best not to colonize you.
It's okay if you don't give old people any leeway, as long as you don't make the generalization old people, because there's a lot of old people who think younger than your fucking ass.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think we should label it as they're old, so we have to. No.
Right.
Bad idea is a bad idea. It doesn't matter who it comes from.
Jenny, I'm old. I'm an old people.
Excessively.
Okay? So
Hey, look, just because your hairline is halfway back on your head doesn't mean you're extremely old.
Oh God, that doesn't you.
Fuck off.
No, you look like a garden gnome.
No.
Sorry, I am a cunt.
I'm not dissing on the old people. There's nothing wrong with being old. I don't give a shit how old anybody is.
There is everything wrong with being old.
I'm just being realistic. I'm being realistic. Sometimes, as we get older, we say stupid shit.
We do.
That's just a fact.
I've been doing it all my life.
Yeah.
So it's status quo then when I get older. Sweet.
I'm going to
chalk that one up to a win.
to the people who are watching this in the future. I'm not an ageismist. I don't care how old you are. You're all lovely. I did a bad. I'm sorry.
I was so sure you were going to say I don't care how old you are. You're all cunts.
He's pre-apologizing for something to be said in the future.
And an old cunt can be just as useful and enjoyable as a new cunt. So that was a queef.
Oh, I prefer a cunt with experience.
There you go. Very well done, Jenny.
Well, on command. Well done. You've got some good kegels there. That's what it is. I believe there are some women who can use their Kegel muscles to bring the air in and actually do a queef on command. I cannot.
I'm just not that talented. Nope.
Yeah, that takes some skill. And hats off to you if, not that I wear hats, but hats off to you if you are somebody who can actually do that. That is legitimately a skill. I don't know if it's a skill that you've got much use for, but it is legitimately a skill.
I'm desperately.
Reagan, stop that bullshit. Just take that bullshit. Stop that bullshit right now.
Australia Jen and the person next door to Australia Jen, cleavage bear. What the fuck? I stop putting stupid names. Stop doing that.
What's wrong with that?
Sorry, Mr. Brian May Skidmark.
I'm desperately wanting to do something. That's what she said. But I'm gonna. I have this urge. Oh, this is not about sex. Don't worry. I have this urge.
Colonize.
No, I said it's not about sex. I need to make a video, but I don't know what to do it about because nobody watches my shit because I'm a boring fucker. But I need to create. Yes, that's a good word. I don't know what to do. So I'm open for suggestions.
Suggesticles.
Suggesticles. I like that word.
We could do a video about all the words you like and then do a follow-up video on all the words that you dislike.
That's
actually not bad.
That will work. Yeah, that will work. I'm now a total fan of the new word suggesticles. I love that.
Suggesticles.
And I'm going to suggest to the World Health Organization to change the name of this new variant from Omicron because the lure memes are actually starting to come.
I think we need a suggesticles box. Still.
A suggesticle?
Suggesticles box.
Oh god, that's
all it is a letterbox with a set of testicles hanging from the back flap.
Wait a minute, where are the balls? Left and right on the side? Are they hanging in the front? Are they on the top? Like what
The little penis flag to say that there's mail.
Stop it! I have.
It's got the newspaper hole at the bottom, and the testicles are just hanging.
It is not fair to get me there before 11. It's just not.
But it's not far from 11, isn't it?
You know, it's not. But how am I gonna go? Like,
if I ever make a website for myself, I'm gonna have to have a clickable icon on it that's suggesticles for people to submit.
Oh my gosh!
Someone's got to steal that now.
Yeah, this is I would bet you this whole stream, the game show, somebody's going to be doing that.
Oh yeah,
somebody's going to be. Yeah.
We're definitely going to be doing cunt or not a cunt. That is
no way you get any ads on this show today.
It's going to be acquired. I don't know if it'll go over like because in America you can't really like I say it, but I don't mean it. I mean it more like the way you would say it, like bitch, like the way we actually mean. But it has a whole different thing over here. Like it's serious over here. Like really,
Americans.
Really
no offense to the ones in here. Most Americans don't understand. Like, if I call you mate, I'm actually calling you a cunt. If I call you cunt, I'm actually calling you a mate.
Yeah, I learned that.
I hate this conversation so much because it always gets back to this conversation. And I am a big fan of the C word. But as Aussies, you know damn well that I'm allowed to use that word.
No, the same reason as us. Yeah.
It does not mean I hate you.
Yeah.
But Americans have a real problem with that word, and I've tried my best to explain it to them. But it's a weird thing to try to explain because context.
Yes,
context matters. Yeah, it's the same thing as saying calling somebody a bastard. Hey, you bastard. How you doing, bastard?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not offended, Australia Jen.
Well, you get a flat tire. You stupid cunt of a car. Right, that's being angry at it. Yeah. Right, you're not friends with it anymore. But how you going, cunt? Right, how you going, mate?
This is one of my personal missions.
Hey, you cunt! I haven't seen you for ages.
I'm trying. I'm not offended by what you just said. This is one of my personal missions. I'm going to teach America people to embrace the C word.
Oh, I've been trying for years, mate, and they just can't get the grasp of the cynicism behind it.
It is so fucking difficult, isn't it?
Teaching.
I can understand. They has a different weight on it here. It means something totally different.
In America,
Americans that don't know us,
if you use the word cunt, you are a cunt.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's a weird way to do it because Americans say a lot of other words really happily.
Yeah, I'm more of an asshole that uses the cunt word a lot.
I love the fact that we can snigger at you guys every time you say the word fanny.
That's right, because a fanny is a quim, and not a rear. But in America, they use it like an ass, like an arse.
I've noticed that in the UK though, some people use it to mean an ass, and some people use it to mean
a front bum.
A front bum, yeah.
Front bum.
A front bum.
Front bum, yeah. You'd be amazed at the number of words Australians have for a
I totally love what you just did there.
I can give you.
I'm 12. That made me laugh.
I can give you a historicity on bum bag versus fanny pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we called them bum bags, so we wore them around the back, and then the Americans started calling them fanny packs, so we moved them around the front.
I hadn't heard that before.
Well, that is true. What originally happened with the fanny pack being worn in the front, when it first came out, most people wore it in the back, and then there were these dorks that would wear it in the front, and for some reason that took on, or took off, and that's how people think they should be worn.
Every time an American says fanny, the British and Australians are laughing secretly. Also, front bum is the best thing ever.
Well, it's also the argument of boot versus trunk. I've never known an elephant to have its trunk in the rear.
Well, it's not a name for an elephant. The reason it's called the trunk is because in the early days of cars, when they didn't have a trunk, they had a trunk attached to the car.
Yeah, but you don't strap. You don't. I was going to say strap on anyway.
So not a portmanteau, a trunk.
Jen with the English language.
That portmanteau annoys me so much when Queenslanders say it.
Yeah, fuck you with your English. Fuck off with your English.
I fucking hate the word portmanteau. I really do, but I had to say it then.
What word do you hate?
I think it's actually portmanteau is actually the correct way to say it.
I hate that word so much.
But Queenslanders say portmanteau, not portmanteau. So
I really do hate that word.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the fuck it means.
It's a luggage.
Could you spell it? I'm not understanding what you're saying.
It means luggage.
Spell it though.
I actually have no idea how it's spelled, to be honest. It's
I can spell it, but I don't know what it means.
It means luggage.
It does not mean luggage.
Well, it has multiple meanings, but that's one of the meanings for it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That was the meaning I meant for it.
This is why I get annoyed, because I've colonized you. Please don't lecture me about my language. I will win always. Except for portmanteau. I can't do that word. That's my Achilles heel.
There you go. Portmanteau, a large traveling bag typically made of stiff leather and opening within 2 equal parts. Luggage.
Okay, well, anyways, getting back to the original usage and stuff, that's how cars were built, is that they had a steamer trunk of some sort that was attached to the back end of the car to carry things. And when cars finally invented a trunk, it just took on that name.
Why wouldn't you call it a caboose?
Because a caboose is something on a train.
Yeah, but it's the back car of a train.
Yeah, but you're not talking about a back car of a car. I do get where the term trunk came from in the US. I just like boot better.
Well, a caboose is also your ass in America.
Yeah, but
I think we use that too occasionally.
But that's the thing. You went from horse and cart, where the trunks had to be put on the back, and then, of course, you ended up with the Model T, which started the modern car. Oh, you didn't need it.
Is that true of the Model T? No, I think the Model T still basically had a trunk on the back of it.
When they made the 4-door, you could put it on the back seat.
Okay, when they made the 4-door, but not the original.
But mind you, this is about progression
here, and I think it's irrelevant.
Well, look, if you want to get semantic with me, look, that's on you.
But we've also hit the 11:30 mark, and we need a break between this stream and the next stream, so I think we might wind here. So, I want to say thank you very much to everyone in the chat who's been absolutely awesome. I know there have been a lot of us this morning, but I think it's going to take a couple of weeks for people to get used to the new format and way we're doing things between Claire and I, so that's to be expected a bit. Thank you to everyone who's been part of this, anyone who joins in later, and I hope you enjoy all the cunts that have been here. Thank you to Claire for being here, and I will see you in half an hour. And
the contometer just did a thing.
I got all the words out. Like, hopefully I won't be saying that on my stream, like, for the rest of the night. Hopefully it's all out.
Yeah.
By the way, I rarely pay attention to private chat in the StreamYards, but Cleavage Bear, I've no idea why they're bouncing. Go for it. I'm happy for you.
Thank you very, very much.
She has to bounce because she has to get ready for the next stream, which is in half an hour. Or approximately half an hour, a little less than that now.
Yeah.
So, which is the Mayhem stream, which will go for a couple of hours in about half an hour's time, which will be the follow-up.
Right.
We're like the pre-show to Mayhem, and Mayhem is Mayhem.
Because Jenny's my star. You're going to be there. You know, Jenny, I've got a few people coming late. You're going to join me at 11? Are you able? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty tired.
Okay.
No worries, Jenny.
How about
Davros,
you?
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jenny, and thank you very much, Stoll. You have been very enlightening this morning, actually.
I'm always enlightening.
We've enjoyed your colonization for a change.
I love to colonize people so much, but I'm going to get really pissed off because you're trying your best to wind this up.
I have one question for Stool though tonight.
Yeah.
But
why have you decided to imitate one of your politicians in the way you wear your hair, Mr. Johnson?
Oh, fuck you, Jenny.
Well done, Jenny. Sorry. Oh, sorry. But oh my God, that was just it was so quietly done good. Too. Gosh, Jen.
Well done, Jen.
Oh my God, that was brutal, but well done. Yeah.
That was brutal, and you know, the next time we meet, Jenny, I'm gonna slap your ass.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Spanking.
So
I
may have.
You could have confused her and said, "I'll spank your fanny."
I know, we just moved right into Mayhem, didn't we? I thought we were taking a 30-minute break. And boom.
I may do a Schrodinger's bathtub tomorrow evening US time. A short little science stream, just to have a bit of fun, because I haven't done one for a while. I don't know if Matt will be joining me. He's pretty busy at the moment, but you know, it's always a lot of fun to talk science, and there's a couple other people I could drag in to join me with that. And aside from that, see you all in half an hour over on Claire's, because.
But before you go, I just got a cheeky notification that Claire is doing a thing. I hate you, Australia Gem, because you're not winding this up in a style that I approve of.
Oh, sorry.
I've just been here for a long time. Before you go, is Brian May a cunt?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
There you go. Always watch the YouTubes. We get the truths.
Shut it down.
We'll catch
now.
you later.
Shut it down now. He
try not
agreed
to
with
choke
us.
on the selfie stick. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, chat. Love you.
Oh, God. Love you, chat. Yeah, some of you. Yeah.
I will shut this
Not so
down,
much
but
of
I
it.
don't have the right thing open, so sorry for the extra bit. Bye.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, bye all.
I still think Brian May is not a dick.